Hey guys, so woke up down another zero point 0.8 of a pound. So the past 2 days I've been dropping weight pretty consistently. So that is some good news. And that's from upping the movements, upping the 10K steps, upping the cardio. And like last night, I even brought my calories to about 2,000 to 2,100, brought my carbs up to about 200, kept my fats really low, and we still dropped. So that's where I'm still playing with my stuff and playing with macros and all that stuff. And I feel pretty good by keeping the fats lower and bringing the carbs up higher. And as long as we're getting our movements in and our cardio, we're losing. So, one of the main comments that I get on TikTok and like Facebook and stuff, not here on YouTube, but people go, because I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you want to take your weight loss slow and steady and sustainable, have a refeed. Don't call it a cheat day, right? Because when you call it a cheat day, it just puts such a bad stigma on having that food, and it just like makes you feel guilty, right? So the point of a refeed day is to restore the glycogen, to help the performance, and to help diet fatigue, and to make sure you don't go freaking insane cutting too aggressively and just like and then binge eating, right? So when I say you want to take it slow and steady like I was doing, I was having a refeed day probably uh, every week and a half, right? And that was taking my weight loss very slow, like zero point 0.9 of a pound a week on average. But now that I'm speeding everything up, I'm not going to have a refeed day until 4 to 6 weeks. And that's what I recommend. And a lot of people will go, well, if you have a lot of body fat on you still, like when you burn the fat, it'll just take the nutrition from the fat and put it into your muscles, right? And it's like, no, that's not how that works, unfortunately. So, the purpose of a refeed day is to restore the glycogen back into your muscles, help your gym performance, help keeping you training at a high level, and also helping with the muscle recovery, right? When you burn your body fat, it does not just take like quick carbs and goes right into your muscles, right? It's over a period of time where it takes a while for your body, like your body will utilize it for your overall deficit to help your body like survive because you're in an overall deficit, but it's not going to send it to the muscles. It's not going to send it in the way you think it's going to, right? It's just burning it off because energy and energy in, energy out, right? So you have your your whole system needs 2,000 calories. So just put it as energy. Your whole body needs 2,000 energy to run every day. But now you're in a deficit, so you're at, just for example, just say you're at 1,500 calories a day plus working out and all that stuff. Now your body is like, okay, well, he's only giving us 1,500 energy, so now we're negative 500 energy. And for him to basically live and survive and function properly, we need him to be at 200 energy. So that 500 energy has to come somewhere, right? And so it'll either have to come from you putting more energy into your body, kind of like a car, like, you know, you got to put more fuel in it, or it's going to have to pull from somewhere, right? So it's going to pull from your fat and it will pull from your muscles, just depending on severity and like depending on things, right? You want it to pull from your fat, not from your muscles. So pull that 500 energy from your restores, from your muscles, or not from just your muscles, but from your fat, and then make sure you're surviving and functioning, right? So when you give your body a refeed day, now it can take that extra, say you go to 2,500 calories on your refeed day, it can take those extra carbs because it's like, okay, now we have extra energy, but instead of storing it as fat, it's going to push it into your muscles because it's like, we need to restore glycogen in his muscles. The muscles are being used, the muscles are going crazy, like he's going absolute, like he needs these muscles, so we need to put nutrients into those muscles, right? And when you take enhancements and you take steroids, that increases your protein synthesis and it pushes more of those nutrients into your muscles. That's where it comes down to. Same with peptides too. Peptides, there's certain peptides out there that will, I think I might be wrong on this. I'll have to fact check myself. So like, don't take this as 100%. But I think that's what like retatrutide and all those things do as well. They increase protein synthesis and then send the nutrients to your muscle. But when you take steroids just amplifies that effect by like 1,000. So that is why a lot of people can get away with putting on a lot of muscle while also coming down on a crazy deficit, or even um, keeping on a lot of muscle while being in a crazy deficit, is because when they're enhanced, it's pushing nutrients into their muscle, right? So they won't lose it, or so they'll gain muscle. But that's how that works. So sit there and really think, okay, if I'm a person who needs to lose over 100 pounds, 50 pounds, wherever it is, right? Do I want to take it slow and easy, so where it's more mentally better on me, where I'm not going to like get like an eating disorder, or I'm not going to get a harmful, let's just call it, relationship with food and all this stuff? Or do I want to take it fast and quick and risk being mentally burned out, sad, depressed, crashing? Like, I just want to go freaking crazy and go eat tons of food, and I'm like fighting for my life, and like, and your body's just trying to really push you hard to go eat, and then you're getting sick and like all this stuff. I just want to say, sustainable weight loss, especially for people who have a lot to lose, it is better to have a refeed day every week and a half. It's gonna make the process go slower, but it just is what it is. And a lot of people with PCOS and stuff like this is where I see a lot online, is they'll say automatically they can't lose weight because of PCOS, and that's not true, right? So when you have metabolic issues and PCOS, it just makes it harder. So then you have to be in more of a strict diet, or more of a calorie deficit than say someone who doesn't have PCOS. So like, you can take a female that weighs the same height, everything. The only thing difference is one has PCOS, one doesn't. One can easily lose weight fine at 1,700 calories and doing all her workouts and not working out every single day. And then the girl with PCOS, you might have to bring her down to 1,500 calories, and she's going to have to do an hour cardio. She's going to have to be doing lifting. She's going to have to be doing all that, right? On top of it, she's going to have to keep her carbs a little bit lower than the other girl. So that's where that comes in place. And a calorie deficit still is in play. And a lot of people will say, well, no, calorie deficit doesn't work with women with PCOS. And that's just not true. So just try, if you're a woman with PCOS, like, I feel bad for you. It is hard. But I'm telling you, get away from that mindset that it's impossible because PCOS. So it is possible. It's just harder. It's a lot harder. And if you get a coach and they lock you in correctly and you follow everything to 100% to a T, I guarantee over a year you're going to drop weight. You're going to drop fat. So you just have to make sure following 100% and you're counting 100%. So I feel pretty good today. So I've locked in on my sleep. So again, last night, I did have a lot of nightmares and a lot of that stuff, and that really kind of messed with my sleep. But what I'm doing is, because I also have my other dog, Diogi, who is having like doggy dementia issues and stuff. So I had to get up with him a lot too and help him go to the bathroom. And then, but he's been doing really good, where he just lays right here with me, and he'll fall back to sleep, and instead of like getting up and just going in circles. As long as I put him like right between my armpit and like me, he'll fall back to sleep. It's really cute. But I think if I put him anywhere else on the bed, he gets confused and can't feel me, and then so he goes in circles until he gets into this spot, or until he can feel me. And then but yeah, so really locked in on the sleep. So last night, let's actually pull up the sleep here. So last night I actually got a sleep score of 80. So that is way better. So I did sleep. So it said I slept for about 7 hours and 56 minutes, but my sleep score was better. So that's like really good. So this is where it hurts me. I've had a lot of interruptions. So I had about 15 interruptions out of 20. And that's from waking up from nightmares. and all that stuff. But yeah, so on average before this, guys, before I started really locking in on my sleep, I was sleeping like 4 to 5 hours, even less sometimes. A lot of that was because I just was playing games. But I think what really has helped with my sleeping too is getting the 10,000 steps in and doing the cardio session at night. Because I'll go hit knock out 30 minutes on that Peloton, and I'm so freaking exhausted afterwards. And then I'm sitting there like, oh man, I'm so hungry too. And then I just like, you know what? Let's just have a fruit bowl. So I'll have another fruit bowl after that session, and then I feel like the hunger kind of goes away, and then I'm able to take a shower and then go right to bed. So that's another thing too. Is like people are like, oh, don't eat late at night. Honestly, it doesn't matter when you eat. People will be like, oh, eat from 12 to 6 and then don't eat anything else. If that helps you stay in a deficit, great. But if you can wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, have your breakfast, eat all the way up until midnight before you go to bed, and you still will lose fat as long as you're in a calorie deficit for weeks at a time and months at a time, right? Just gotta stay consistent. So, anyways, today is gonna be shoulders, so we're gonna go in there and hit shoulders and pretty much have a pretty good lift. Like I'm feeling pretty good right now. My muscles are not even really sore. Remember earlier, a couple last videos, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna have to take a rest day. I think bringing up the carbs, upping the sleep, and then bringing the fats down. For some reason, my body's running really good on that, and I'm not sore. I'm not like I can probably hit any body part right now. But we're gonna hit shoulders and then tomorrow legs, and we're just gonna keep going. And some people might go, well, you're not training hard enough. Part of that, and part of the reason why my recovery is probably so good too right now is because I upped the test to 30 milligrams a day instead of 20. And I am breaking out more, like with like pimples and stuff. So that tells me my test levels, because I know my body pretty well. I'm thinking my test levels are probably about 12 to 1300 right now, is where I'd put my test levels. But ever since I upped that test, I think that too has helped my sleep. It's helped my mood. It's helping me feel better, helping me recover better. And right now I'm feeling pretty good. So um, I think we're at a really good level right now for the testosterone. So I'm not going to go higher. I'm not going to go lower. I'm just going to keep it as is right now. Monitor my blood pressure, monitoring my blood work and all that stuff. And that's another thing too. It's like if you guys, like I don't sit there and condone it, or like I'm not going to sit there and encourage people to hop on test or anything like that. But if you guys do this stuff, don't do crazy cycles. Don't blast the stuff. Don't go absolute crazy and then end up in the hospital dead. Like you guys got to really be careful what you're doing. You need to learn what you need to monitor. Like one big thing that people don't watch is their blood pressure. They don't go get their heart scan to see how their heart is, if their heart's enlarging from it. They don't do their cardio. Like you got to do your cardio. That will help with the heart health. That'll help with like your overall system. You got to eat cleaner. It helps with the system. There's so much that more that goes into it than just blasting and then doing whatever. Like, you know what I mean? If you are going to do the stuff, like do it at a lower dose. See how you're going to react. Watch your blood. Watch your blood pressure. Watch those things, and then if you have any warning signs and there's anything that's off, you need to come off. You need to be like, okay, we're going to bring the cycle down, or we're going to get off. So just be really cautious, because you guys can really hurt yourself very quickly, and then have really long life term like complications for the rest of your life where you might regret it. Like there's people when I worked in the hospital that I saw that some of them had to be on a ventilator machine for the rest of their life. So because they totally cooked all their organs, they were blasting, all this stuff happened, they weren't watching what they were doing, and now they're laying in a hospital bed on a pretty much a ventilator, or even a thing in almost like a vegetable state where they can't really do anything on their own. So you guys just gotta be really cautious. But anyways, let's go in there and get started on this shoulder day, and then we will hit recovery. And then during my sets, I like to walk around, so then I'm hitting easier to help me hit the 10K steps. And then I'll do a couple sessions on the treadmill to help get to that 10K steps, and then I will go do my 30-minute Peloton session later. Another thing that's helped me is get a Switch 2. Like, if you guys are a gamer, get you guys a Switch 2. Sit there, play Pokemon, Shiny Hunt, whatever games you love and enjoy, play on the Switch. You can put the Joy-Cons in each hand, and your cardio goes by so quick. I'm telling you guys. Like, even on the Peloton, I'm sitting there playing my Switch, and my cardio just flies by. I'm like, what cardio? Like, I can probably sit there and do cardio for 2 hours if my leg let me, and it would go by like that. Just so that's another tip for you guys. But I don't know. We've been talking for almost 16 minutes, so let's get in there and get started. Alright, pretty good lift, pretty simple, pretty easy, and I feel like my shoulders are pretty pumped, same with my rear delts. I don't do the front delts on shoulder day because I hit them during chest day anyways, but I'm probably going to bring shoulders back to chest day starting soon. I kind of just threw shoulders in there as like, kind of like a little easy lift, but still like enough to rest all my other body parts. So it's almost like a rest day, technically. But I'll probably be bringing my shoulders into my chest days, and then especially on the bulk, because when you're doing chest, you hit a little bit of your shoulders anyways, and when you're doing shoulders, you hit a little bit of your chest. So unless you're doing like flies like that, or raises, unless you're doing raises, you don't really hit your chest too much, but when you do the presses, you do hit your chest a little bit. So that's my thinking behind it. Let's check this pump. I feel pretty good right now. Like, everything is just kind of dialed in and locked in right now, and now is the time to keep the momentum going and not take any like unnecessary refeed days or any unnecessary rest days. Don't bring back the cardio, don't bring back the walking. And a lot of people will tell me like, oh, I have a hard time hitting 10,000 steps in a day because they work like a 9-to-5 job where they're sitting at the desk. Literally do laps around your workout machine in between sets instead of sitting on your phone. I catch myself just sitting on my phone between sets. I got 3 to 5 minute rest periods between my sets, so it's like walk around the machine, do circles, and right there by doing that, I already almost hit 3,000 extra steps in the day by doing that. So if you don't want to stay hours on a treadmill, you don't want to go walk around the lake for an hour, just sit there and literally do laps around your machine that you're working on. So you can tell right here already looking more leaned out since we've upped the cardio, upped the movement, and brought the calories about anywhere from 17 to 2100, and I'm not messing with the carbs a little bit, but we are starting to lean out more. So let's check this pump. Pretty good shoulder pump. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good where I'm at right now. Like, if I can stay like this for the rest of the cut, how am I feeling today? This is going to be easy to finish the rest of the cut, to be honest. If I can just keep feeling the way I'm feeling. Prioritizing sleep, prioritizing movement, prioritizing that protein, and then keeping the fats a little bit lower, I'm feeling really good. So you got to remember, since technically I'm enhanced, I replaced my testosterone I don't really have to worry about the fats as much as someone who's natural and wants to get more fats in a day for hormone health. With me, I don't have to worry about it too much. So, pretty good lift, pretty good day. Now, just gotta stay on track, keep this momentum, and do it really good. So my birthday is coming up on the 21st of April. I'm not gonna have a refeed day that day. I might have like some cake, but I probably won't do a refeed day because I want to keep this momentum going and not have a refeed day for 6 to 8 weeks. So anyways, I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video, which will be a leg day, which will probably be hitting legs at Anytime Fitness tomorrow. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.